Hey, this is Tommy.
This is Eddie.
Sorry we can't come to the phone right now.
But please leave your name and your number and a little message, and we'll get back with you.
Beep.
Hey guys, as I get older, I find it harder and harder to connect with other guys and make genuine friendships. What are some ways you guys have connected with other guys?
Did it sound like he was driving?
It did sound like he was driving.
Don't.
It was probably hands-free, though.
I hope so.
We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it shows you, though, Skid Guys puts out a request, and he's like,
Now.
I love the Skid Guys. I'm
doing it right now.
Now while I'm driving.
Yes.
I was just looking on my Insta.
It's fantastic.
I was on the gram, as it were. As
On
I
the
was
gram while I was driving.
And all of a sudden, here's a request for a friendship question I'm going to ask.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
When you see, for both of you, someone driving down the road,
Uh-huh.
their phone is in their hand.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure they're on social media or something. Does it bother you?
Does it bother me?
Yeah, like, are you like, do you think they're like dumb for driving while they're on Instagram or some other
if
social
it's
media?
that, like
Yeah.
most of the time I see people, it's like they're talking. It's hands free,
Holding their hand, holding the phone
holding
right
the
in
phone
front
in
of
their
you.
hand, and then I think they're dumb.
Right.
Hmm.
How about you, Ed?
Do I think they're dumb for like looking at Instagram?
Irresponsible, dumb's a mean
Sure.
word.
While they're driving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's irresponsible.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever do it?
Yeah.
Do you, Jay?
No, I don't.
He probably does it.
I've done it.
I have too.
Yeah.
But I'm appalled when others do.
Yeah. Why is this car in front of me going so slow? Get around them. Oh, they're on their phone.
And then I almost hit somebody because I'm on mine.
Right.
Okay, so back to the question.
It's a great
It's
question.
a great question.
I don't know how old this gentleman is.
He sounded older.
He sounded older. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it's a great question, especially for guys,
Oh.
men, because it does become more and more hard to have genuine dude relationships.
100%. And it is hard for, I agree with you, Ed, it is hard for guys to make friends. Like, I think that's just, it's just simple. And I think it's because we all have, we build these walls.
Yeah.
You know?
And it doesn't help that you can play. I mean, you can actually stay in your house and play video games not as a teenager, but as an adult man.
Yeah.
You could be doing a lot of stuff, online. You could be talking to somebody or whatever, while you're playing video games and whatever. But to get out and be social and to find a group and to find some people to hang with can be very, very tough.
Yeah. I think one of the things I've been encouraged is just the last couple of days as we've been driving around where you live is seeing kids outside.
Yeah.
Spending time together.
Yeah.
So I hope we've hit a spot of going like, okay, we're done, holding up in our house and doing that. But I will also add, like, I think that my son would say a couple of his best friends are ones that don't even live in this town, his town,
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they talk about life and do all of that stuff, So I think there's a balance that you have to find there.
Yeah. So what does that look like though for someone that is, married, has kids, and a guy trying to find friendships?
So I know I'm a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what is so overlooked is the church is a great place to find.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so overlooked, but it worked for centuries. That, we go to church together and all of a sudden we're hanging out together. We're in a small group and all of a sudden we're doing life together.
Yeah. Growth groups are a great place to
It's such a natural way to
find
do it.
at least camaraderie. And
Yeah.
if the first group doesn't work out, doesn't mean that it's over. You look for another group.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so good. Don't give up. Don't walk in, try one group and be like, I tried, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's huge.
You got to find the right group, the right type of people. And I guess whatever your hobbies are too.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to find probably some dudes that you can get along with. Probably the chances are, as far as the circles are concerned, from hangout, acquaintances, hangout, circle of honor, and garden friends, more than likely you're going to find those last circles probably somewhere where you are in a church or you are in a group like that, or in a growth group, to where you can just go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
You may only have hangout friends, outside the church as you get older.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest obstacles to guys making friends is we don't want to take chances. I mean, at the end of the day, you go back to when you were in high school and you wanted to ask out a girl And it took everything in you, because rejection is one of the greatest fears, right? And it's the fear of being rejected by other guys,
Yeah.
you know? One of the things I learned about my dad later in life, because if you were to be like, hey, who's your dad's good friends, you know? I'd be like, I think my uncle, I think my next door neighbor, you know? And then as life went on, you know, my dad would start telling me stories about, you know, oh, that's Carl. Well, how do you know Carl, Dad? Well, I met him at the golf course, you know, and we would have a regular game court. Or, you know what? We worked in the same industry, but not at the same place. And we'd have lunch together. We'd talk business and da-da-da-da-da. But as life went on, all of a sudden, hey, where's Dad? Well, he went over to Carl's house. Carl just found out he had cancer, you know? And so it's taking that chance, being that friend that somebody needs, rather than being the person that needs a friend, you know? I think that's huge.
It's good.
But you're taking a chance.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
You got to put yourself out there. It never really stops.
No.
Just as you're being pushed into junior high, you know, and you got to play, you know, do PE and do all the things. There's a forcing and there's a forcing. And even as you get older, I mean, you do have the choice of not to do it. But if you really want to have rich friendships, male friendships, you got to force yourself out there just to try things. Even if it doesn't work 100% all the time, you're going to land somewhere where you're going to have a group of friends.
Yeah. I don't know if it's most people, but I think a lot of people, their natural tendency is to stay home. Right. And to not take chances. And honestly, the pandemic like drew that out, you know, and now, there's a lot of church people that do church online, you know, and you go, hey, if you're that person and you're just doing it because it's convenient, go in person, like meet people, like be with people, you know. Online church is great. And, you know, what the stats are showing is that more older people are doing online church because it helps them, you know, and that's good, you know. But if you got the ability to get out and get to church.
All right. Well, we hope we helped. Hope that it's at least some encouragement to at least take some risks. To not make the excuses, but to take some risks.
It's a great question. It's hard to come up with the answer.
It's a very hard question.
It was a good one.
All right. Jay, do you want to add anything to that?
I know.
Nothing.
Jay was really quiet.
He was really quiet.
I know.
Yeah, he was almost.
Do you think that was Jay that sent that in?
It may have been Jay.
Voice modulator.
What was that? While he was on his car driving? He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do any texts, but he will do voice memos while he's driving.
It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time with viewer mail.
Bye.
Game over.
Look for the Skit Guys movie Family Camp on streaming platforms. And check out skitguys.tv for videos, tour dates, and more.